Hello my friends, how are you good? Subscribe to the channel in order to reach 1000 subscribers as soon as possible, so let's enjoy the story. In the darkness of a bustling city where injustice meets power, Bellamy, a young man, witnesses a life-changing moment. He was walking in the alleys of the city when his eyes fell on a terrible murder, in which a little girl was killed. Shock radiated from his eyes when he realized that the killer was none other than a policeman collaborating with drug dealers. The story begins while the night was heavy and dark, with dark clouds and the stars disappearing. Bellamy walked slowly through the city's alleys, the noise and miserable expressions of everyday life. Dark streets and deserted alleys create an atmosphere of mystery and danger. Suddenly, the little girl lies on the ground next to a garbage can with a policeman standing on top of her, while a heavy weight of darkness surrounds her. Her eyes reflect the innocence that was snatched from her by the cruelty of life, and with blood filling the place, she painted a heartbreaking picture on the cold sidewalk. Bellamy feels sick to his stomach, his eyes still fixed on the tragedy before him. That dark moment was something he would never forget, as images blared in his head and refused to leave him. He remains there, the child's body becoming heavy in his heart, and he bursts into tears over things that cannot be realistically imagined. Bellamy was witnessing a heinous crime, the consequences of which he could have had no idea. At this crucial moment, fate closes its doors in his face. When Bellamy made a noise after witnessing the crime, darkness descended upon the place, as if time had frozen in the moment of terror. The corrupt policeman, who thought he had shrouded his crime in mystery, quickly turned towards the source of the noise. As Bellamy watched from a dark corner, his eyes caught the policeman moving toward him warily. He had no choice but to escape, as he started running through the dark alleys quickly, trying to leave behind this nightmare that was chasing him. The dark streets play with light and darkness, making it difficult for the policeman to pinpoint Bellamy's exact location. But as he continued to escape, his feet made a faint sound on the cold ground, as if in defiance of the darkness surrounding him. The chase begins to intensify, as the cop's screams become louder and are followed by the echo of Bellamy's footsteps. Bellamy makes his way through narrow corridors and dark stairs, trying to camouflage himself among the shadows to avoid detection. At every turn, Bellamy discovers the policeman getting closer, and becomes anxious but determined to escape to uncover the truth. As time passes, the policeman loses a little focus, and this gives Adam the opportunity to make a decisive move towards a dark exit. As Bellamy's heart races, he hides in a dark corner, waiting for the right moment to attack or flee. And so, the battle of darkness and light continues, as the policeman and Bellamy are forced into a deadly dance in the darkest of nights. When Bellamy returned home, thoughts of fear and doubt began to creep into his mind. He was overcome with anxiety when he realized that the policeman might have understood that he was the witness to the heinous crime. As he sat in his room, winds of doubt rose in his head, and he felt tense and afraid. He was trying to understand how the policeman discovered him, and whether he had made a mistake in any move he had made. Thoughts ran through his mind, and he began to review the moments he spent in the place where he witnessed the crime, wondering if he had done something that would make him the target. At the same time, the policeman was carefully following Bellamy's lead, stalking and preparing for escalation. The policeman used all his skills to make sure he left no trace. As Bellamy tried to think of his next steps, he was stopped by an unexpected shock. When he looked out his window, he saw a police car stop in front of his house. His heart beat rapidly, and he began to realize that the policeman had reached him. He had to make a quick decision, so he decided to run away from home quickly. As the policeman approached Bellamy's house, he knew time was on his side. He saw Bellamy as a real threat to the secrecy of his crime, and was determined to eliminate the only witness. Darkness envelops the area and hides his cautious steps. Bellamy felt nervous, reading his matter-of-fact steps with a rapidly beating heart. Inside the house, he was trying to organize his thoughts and think about how to survive and uncover the truth. As he prepared to tackle an unavoidable confrontation, he heard hurried footsteps outside the door. In a dark moment, suddenly a shot pierced the door. The policeman was trying to break the lock with a silencer. Bellamy sensed the gravity of the situation and decided to defend himself. In these terrifying moments, Bellamy used darkness as his tactic. He tried to move quickly between dark rooms and places to avoid the policeman's bullets. He was trying hard to stay hidden and use the darkness to his advantage. in a desperate struggle, as the struggle for survival raged inside the dark house. The policeman was trying hard to silence the witness who had disturbed his corrupt stability. While Bellamy was on the run, he met Lena, an intelligent girl who worked as a freelance journalist. They shared their stories, and soon realized they had to fight to uncover the truth and were under threat of death. The brave duo decides to fight corruption, and as they delve deeper, they discover that the corrupt policeman is involved in other, more horrific crimes. They found themselves racing against time to avoid being killed. As Bellamy and Lena try to escape the corrupt cop's pursuit, the city's skies are shrouded in endless darkness. They hid in narrow alleys and dark corridors, avoiding the bright lights that would reveal their identity. They were terrified at every approaching step, but they had to continue their dangerous journey. Make quick and smart decisions, avoid the main streets and choose the back roads and small roads. They took advantage of hideouts to avoid sensing the eyes of the policeman and his followers. Every move was calculated, and they had to keep moving in order to survive. Lena, thanks to her intelligence and precision, was always one step ahead of the policeman. She uses her journalistic skills to infiltrate the dark information network the cop was relying on. When they discover a safe place, they begin planning how to expose the corruption spreading throughout the city. During the chase, the cop and his corrupt agents pursue them relentlessly. They had to change course and move quickly to avoid detection. The closer they get to their goal, the greater the pressure and tension. Bellamy begins to doubt everyone he meets, because in this case superiority depends on caution and navigating the shadows. Every moment they doubted their safety, they had to remain on constant alert. They were somehow sneaking around abandoned buildings and secret tunnels, where they hoped to find evidence that would reveal the true crime and clear Bellamy's name. With each passing day, they delve deeper and deeper into the mystery of the corruption that threatens to kill them at any moment. They are chased through the city's narrow mazes, and despite the challenges, Bellamy and Lena remain determined to uncover the truth and reclaim their lives. The brave duo decides to fight corruption, and as they delve deeper, they discover that the corrupt policeman is involved in other, more horrific crimes. They found themselves in a race against time to avoid being caught and detected by the police. At the forefront of the chase, they discover an encrypted file that reveals the serious crimes committed by the policeman. With every progress, the danger and risks increase. Then the decisive battle began as they documented evidence and investigated previous cases. The chase continued for months, and with every moment the duo became stronger and more united. Bellamy decides to save his reputation and his life, and in the end they find key evidence that convicts the cop of all his many and varied crimes, which they present to the police. When the truth was revealed, the policeman's convictions were overturned and the corruption that had spread deep within the city was exposed. Life slowly returned to the city, but the lesson remained. Justice triumphs in the end, even in the face of the greatest injustice.